afternoon and welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax. Hard-working, responsible Americans have been smacked again by the ruling party in Washington. Americans are beginning to understand how it must feel to be Israeli, as the Democrats are poised to once again give them the shaft too. Betrayal, a Democrat value. That's our focus in today's preamble. Let's first deal with the stabbing in the back that Democrats just dished out to every American who has entered into a legal contract, took out a loan, worked to pay off that loan, and then succeeded. The Democrats want to reward your hard work and responsibility by piling on somebody else's debt to your shoulders. Now, none of you voted for this. Joe Biden and his socialists didn't ask your permission. They just did it. Why? Well, the answer's obvious. They need to buy votes with your money. Political cartoonist Gary Varvel illustrates exactly what the Democrats are doing. Student debt problem was so urgent, it had to wait nearly 2 years until 3 months before an election where, Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy notwithstanding, the Democrats should be wiped out. After they've dished out crisis after crisis, indignity after indignity, lawless action after lawless action against we, the American people. And just what kind of people will you be forced to bail out? Well, let's examine that. Perhaps Joe Biden committed you to paying off the debts of people like this.
So for the first time in my life, I'm going to be teaching at a majority white school. And I'm kind of interested to see how students and parents react to my classroom, or if they even notice anything about it, because it's built for non-white students. So just on like that very first level of multicultural education. And I don't think like my new students will mind, but you know, not a single white face there.
Okay, question. What if you don't want to support racism against whites? What if you find the teaching of racism against anybody offensive? Well, too bad for you. Joe Biden and his socialists are going to force you to pay for it anyway. To all of you parents out there who worked 2 or 3 jobs to save enough money for your kids to go to college, you'll get nothing but a greater tax burden. To all of you like me, who worked their way through college and then graduated without any debt, Democrats are eager to punish you for your hard work. Oh, by the way, Joe Biden's unconstitutional vote buying scheme will punish us all in another significant way.
The Inflation Reduction Act saves maybe $300 billion in the first 10 years. If we do cancel $10,000 of debt and just extend the pause a few months, we're going to be at about that much in terms of new costs. So all the deficit reduction is going to be wiped out. At the same time, we're probably going to do more to increase inflation from debt cancellation than any inflation reduction from the Inflation Reduction Act.
Now, we had all hoped that Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy would be organizing some sort of pushback, perhaps a class action lawsuit, maybe a legislative gimmick like the Democrats always seem to discover when they're in the minority to stop this slap in the face against all of us Americans. Sadly, the GOP leadership is too consumed right now attacking America First candidates to be bothered with opposing socialists in the Democrat Party. It's unfortunate timing for the GOP leadership to shirk their elected responsibilities because the extermination of millions of people is on the horizon as Mitch McConnell's friends in the Democrat Party are about ready to knife the Jewish state in the back again. As you all know, we are suffering under Barack Hussein Obama's third term. His people are running the meat puppet, Joe Biden. After President Trump killed the Obama Ayatollah nuke deal, the anti-Semitic party began plotting to reinstitute it in an effort to make sure the #1 state sponsor of terrorism becomes a nuclear power, thus dominating the Middle East. Nearly all of Israel is urging Western powers to reject Joe Biden's betrayal of the Jews. After getting word of the catastrophic, naive, and pro-terrorist provisions in the deal, the Israeli premier, former Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the lion's share of Israeli leadership have condemned the Democrats' latest attempt to stab the Jews in the back. According to reports, Team O'Biden won't even insist that Iran stop trying to kill Americans. Apparently, that's too much for Obama's people who are running Joe Biden to ask for. Barack Hussein O'Biden's new nuke deal with the terrorists of Iran is worse than the first. And the first deal was a genocide waiting to happen. As Barack Hussein Obama himself admitted, President Obama proudly proclaiming that at the end of his 10-year deal, Iran would have a breakout period and become a nuclear power. The home of the Jew haters in America is the Democrat Party. Those Jew haters are the brain trust guiding the Biden regime's negotiations. Negotiations that it appears are geared for making up for a little lost time here. Remember, under the original JCPOA, 10 years would have already passed. And Iran, under Barack Hussein Biden's plan, should already be a nuclear power. The new plan is rumored to accelerate Iran's nuclear weapons development while, preserving their right to invest in ICBM technology so that after they're done killing off all the Jews in Israel, their missiles will be able to hit the United States too. All because Joe Biden, a man likely compromised by Iranian ally China, is delegating negotiations to Team Obama, a team full of people who have loathing for the Jewish state. So whether you're a hardworking American or an innocent Israeli citizen, the Democrats' betrayal is gonna get you. This is just me, but perhaps an intelligent people, a people that no longer wish to be harmed, stabbed in the back, betrayed, should investigate not voting for the party that is the source of all of America's and indeed the world's pain. Perhaps it's time to do what the socialists in the Democrat Party, Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy, refuse to do. Put Americans and our friends first.